On different occasions, I've heard wives complain that my husband doesn't communicate with me again. I can clearly see that there is something wrong with him and that when I ask him, he tells me he's fine and I don't know what to do. In this video, I'll be talking about why your husband has stopped communicating with you and what you can do as a wife to bring back communication in your marriage. Because you know what? Communication is the bloodline of every relationship. And if your husband is not communicating with you, how then will you know what is going on in his life and what is going on in his mind? Kindly stick around if you are interested and let's get right into it. Hello beautiful people, my name is Seki Nyami and I welcome you back to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. If this is the first time you are coming across my video, hello, I'm so excited you are here. So what are some of the reasons why your husband has stopped communicating with you? The first reason is that it might be he's angry. He is angry with you. It might be something you did. You know what, there are some people, you do something and you tell them, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And they will tell you, oh, it's okay, I've forgiven you. But then it's going to take weeks for them to come back to their normal self. It's going to take weeks for your relationship to come back to its normal self. So within those weeks, he will find it very difficult to communicate with you because he is harboring some anger in him, and then it's making it difficult for him to even open up and talk to you. So he might not be talking to you because he's angry. So you ask yourself, is there anything you've done recently? Has there been a conflict between the two of you that is not making him open up to you? The second thing is that he might be trying to avoid conflict. He thinks that whatever he's about to tell you might result in conflict. What if she doesn't understand me? What if she gets angry? How is she going to react when I tell her this? What if this thing that I'm going to tell her will bring conflict? If he sits down to make all this analysis and he realizes that what he wants to tell you might bring conflict, my dear, your husband might not communicate with you, or he might not tell you what he wants to tell you. You know what? Sometimes wives, we make this mistake. We overjudge and we overassume. So when our men talk to us, even before they end, we have already started making assumptions in our minds. And he told me this, he said he did that. If he did this and he did that, then it means he's going to do this. Then we would judge, and then we will make him feel bad for even telling us, opening up to us. Sometimes you have to put the wife tag aside and then be as a friend to our husbands. If you are a friend to him, if you build your relationship to a level where your husband can talk to you about everything, my dear, he can come to you and talk to you about everything that is bothering him. You know, men don't really open up as women open up. And so when a man decides to open up and then the reception that comes from the wife, it is not as he would have wanted, my dear. You might stop him from talking to you again in future, because there have been many instances where husbands will say, madam, I used to talk to her, I used to communicate with her, but then when you talk to her, before you finish the communication, we have fought. Before you finish the communication, she would have been angry, and so for peace to reign, I have stopped communicating with her. So maybe there have been instances in the past that you have assumed or you have overjudged him, and it is making him pull back and not to talk to you about some things. The next thing is that your husband might be ashamed. You know what? It is every man's dream to make his wife proud. And so when maybe he goes to work and things are not working the way he wants them to be, things are not working good in the business the way he wants them to be, he's frustrated and he's stressed. And then he thinks that when I come to tell my wife, she will be less proud of me. When I come to tell my wife, she might think that I have been less the man I am, and that he's afraid and ashamed to talk to you, to open up to you and to let you know, sweetheart, this is the thing I'm going through, this is what is happening, and so I am at my downmost part in life. He might be ashamed to talk to you about that thing because he doesn't want to disappoint you, and he always wants you to be proud of him. The next reason why your husband might not be talking to you is that he might feel that at that point you can't help him solve the problem he's going through. You know, men believe that conversation should have a purpose. Men hardly involve themselves in small talks. Women, we will involve ourselves in small talks like let's gist. But most men find it very difficult to gist. They think that when I am having a conversation with you, the conversation should be productive, and that the result of the conversation should be able to solve whatever that I'm going through. So if he thinks and sees that, no, this thing, even if I tell him, what can she do to help me? There is a saying, some people will go in my language that some catch your car with him. So if he sees that you can't help him in any way, he might not open up to you. Two men stopped communicating with their wives because at a point when they tell them their problems, the wives are not able to help them. And so when these things happen, it will be very difficult for your husband to open up and communicate with you. Now, what do you do if your husband has stopped communicating with you? Please speak to him instead. Be gentle and calm with your tone. Start on a positive note by telling him that you love him and that you love your marriage and you care about him. Then you calmly ask him what the problem is without making it his fault. Speak to him calmly with a very low tone. Let him know you are proud of him. Ask him what is wrong with him and don't make him feel guilty, because he might be feeling less proud of himself. After you've done that, my dear, appreciate your man more. You might be appreciating him, but appreciate him more. Pay attention to the little things he does for the family and acknowledge them. Even if he's able to give you 100 cedis a month, 100 cedis a week, appreciate him and let him know that you appreciate everything he's doing. When you do that, you make him feel, oh, okay, this woman appreciates me, and it motivates him and encourages him to do more. The next thing is that you have to be honest and open. Accept your fault when you have wronged him in any way, and then assure him that he is free to tell you anything. If there has been instances where your husband talked to you and then you pre-assumed or you prejudged him, and then which had made him not to talk to you again, you have to reassure him. But then in the first place, be honest and open to him and let him know that you accept that the fault is from you. You accept that at a point in time when he was talking to you, you behaved in such a way that he wasn't comfortable with, and that you will not repeat those things again. And then, my dear, show your man more care. Even if you are doing it, increase it. Ask him more about his day. Ask him about issues that are bothering him. Be genuine and intentional about this act. Let him know that you care. Most wives, when their husbands come from work, after serving them their food, they don't even sit down with them and ask them, honey, how was your day? What happened in the course of the day? Is there anything that is bothering you? And this thing is not even only wives. There are instances where wives and husbands should sit down and have that talk. Your husband should be your best friend. You should be your husband's best friend. Your husband should feel comfortable talking to you about everything. If you get to a point where your husband cannot talk to you about everything, that is where he goes to talk to his friends, and then his friends might give him advice that might not benefit you, your marriage, and your children. These things might be pretty enough to make him change his mind and tell you everything. These are reasons why I think your husband has stopped talking to you, and then these are what I think you can do to make him start talking to you about everything. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that, and click on this link to watch this video if you enjoyed this video. Thank you once again. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Nyame nka ho.